And welcome to Today at the Races for Sunday. Keith, congrats on hitting your middle pick four yesterday. As I mentioned, Keith, usually does an early pick four, but he'll pick the right sequence for you. Certainly does that with some winning results.
Sometimes we pick the right one. Yeah, I mean, we try to keep it reasonable from a wagering perspective. We don't want to get anything up in the $40, $50 range. I really don't like kind of doing that. I'm kind of for the average player, trying to put them along. But I thought all throughout the day, some of those bigger prices we had in our selections, and as I kind of addressed multiple times before, when you've got the four numbers up there of my selections, it's not a slam dunk that top pick is the top pick. I want you to use those value horses that are amongst them and use them to the best of your ability. Take that value, bet a couple bucks to win in place on some horses that I have in there, 12, 20 to 1. And that's kind of how you pay the dividends at the end of the year. So that's the way I like to kind of use those selections, and hopefully you follow suit.
Let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got going on here for the rest of the day. Track is fast and the turf is firm here. Things are looking good. There's some clouds in the sky. It looks to be a nice day.
It is not as humid today, no doubt. And we've kind of dropped a few degrees, and I like it. And talking about we're going to kick things off here in our early pick five. Yesterday, 43.81 the payout for that one. Late pick five, 3,073. So you can kind of work some things together because we didn't have any huge payouts other than Hank's Dividing Rod or whatever, that 32.60 winner that we had in the mix in race 3 yesterday. Congrats to one of our friends. I know had that early pick 5, and I might need a little hush money because there's a barber I might kind of rat out to if I don't get kind of greased a little bit. So but that was good job. Great handicapping there on their part to take down over 4,000 in the early pick 5.
We're going to fly away with this first leg of that early pick 5 in this maiden, claiming 20,000 on the turf, going 5.5 here for the 3, 4, and 5-year-old scratches in the 3, 8, and 13. The 12 does run. Keith, you have the number 11 on top. Mr. Grand Central in the barn of Kerry Bryan, Kevin Gomez. A little bit of trouble last time out.
Yeah, Mr. Grand Central came back off of a layoff to try the turf. Got it started on the dirt here. Pinched at the break. Weekend was kind of hustled up into that flow. You look at the family, that bottom side, the mare, 5-time turf winner, did it going longer. That was the best, best runs were going longer. By Central Banker, they can kind of handle anything. I'm looking maybe with some other speed inside to go ahead, break, and settle and try to make one run. This is a really tough opener, I thought, all the way through. So looking for a little bit of value, 12 to 1 on the morning line. Early play here at about 5 to 1. I would demand a little bit more from Mr. Grand Central from a price standpoint. Kind of Fonda Wanda, another one. It's going to need help up front. Can bring a late rally here with Forest Boyce. Contrivance, maybe you could kind of say the horse to beat. Okay, tries for 30. Really good try, 2 back against Happy John, who came back to run well. Expected a little bit more last time out, just kind of even. Going to pick up Barbosa today, who's ridden quite well, I thought, in some of these turf races, taking out some rides and doing well. So 11, 4, 7, 10 in it. And to me, a wide open opener. Holanui maybe could be the speed of the speed. You got this one into the mix as well. Trying the turf, correct? Yes, for the first time, wanted it last time.
Yes, absolutely. 11, 4, 7, 10 for Keith there in that first leg of that early pick 5. Now we go to the first leg of the early pick 4. Keith, you get back to your usual ticket structure here in this early pick 4.
El Cheapo here, $8.
Love it.
5, 6, get you started. Annette Eubanks. That's all you got to say around here.
Yeah.
I mean, what can I say? I don't ever remember this barn being on a roll straight in a long time. Just going great guns now. Congrats. Somebody's put a lot into this game here in the Maryland area. So I love to see it. I like the 6-year Barron's Legacy as well. Race 3, 2 deep, 2 and 7. Ariel Moon, Trombetta, and Duarte. These two are kind of coming off of layoffs. Race 4, 1, 2, 3, 6. God, maybe should have just taken them all, Callie. I don't know. But hopefully we can get one of those 4 to win it. In race 5, we're going to go ahead and single, hurrying home. Caramanos for Kieran McGee. Caramanos with 3 winners yesterday. But $8, that won't break you for this Sunday early
Love
pick
it.
4.
Love it. $8 ticket from Keith Fusel. He hit his middle pick 4 yesterday. We'll see how you can roll along with that.
Okay.
Looks with the ticket structure that you have, it looks pretty promising here
All
with
right.
the way this card is looking. Diving in, magnifying glass here on this first leg in this claiming 12-5, which have never won 3, going 3/4 of a mile on the dirt for the 3-year-olds and up. No scratches here. Keith, you have the number 6 Baron's Legacy, as you mentioned. This is in the barn of Andreas Garibay. Gina Vello gets the call. Gina Vello also having some consistent wins throughout the weekend.
Yes, like the way he rides. Underrated, underappreciated. I think he should be getting more mounts, but that's just me.
Yep.
Baron's Legacy, Andres Garibay. I tell you, it could be his day. Got a couple really live runners this afternoon. Order the kettle a little bit later. I think this horse comes out of a pretty good race. Chase that fast pace, 23.46, picking it up to 11 and change. The jam here means business. I think can prompt the inside speed of Dream River. Hopefully separate and go from there in race number 2. Bold Honor, what can we say? Got video spotlight of this one's last win at Delaware. Wins by 8 1/4. Seen quite a few horses, a couple of Rob runners, the last couple of days have gone up to Delaware, gotten it done in big fashion. This one very good, a little bit sharper than normal, possibly 4 deep into the turn. Track kind of holding speed this particular afternoon, but I like the way this one kind of wins on the drop. Goes clear top of the lane. It's to see you later. Going to open up from 8 and change, steady handling back with Andre Chavez. This horse, I think, is going to be a little bit further off the pace than what you're seeing right now at Delaware Park. So look for Bold Honor to rate kind of drop in a little bit, save some ground, and make a run. He's got a couple good races against Dance for Green, a 3-time winner. So why not? I'm going to use this one here in the exactus 6-5-7-2. Shorter price on Ascendance to rally into it, as well as double shot of courage for Rob.
Back on the turf for race number 3 is a maiden claiming 45, going 5.5 on the turf. We stick to sprinting so far here on Sunday for the girls, 3, 4, and 5. This also starts the Rainbow Pick 6. I'm used to it starting in race 4. But I also try and give you an El Cheapo as well, $9.60. Keith, I seem to go one way or the other. I either give you something super cheap or super expensive. Today, super cheap it is. My single, Visby, here for Justin Nixon. But if you wanted to add the number 8 in race number 7 as well, I would as well. That's a Jerry Robb, second-time turf, I do believe. Really loved the way that horse visually was just in performance last time out, stepping it up a little bit in class. But a $9.60 ticket. We'll dive more into that, of course, as per usual on the afternoon show. But let's, again, maiden 45 for the girls, 3 to 5, 5.5 on the turf. Scratches in the 1, 3, 5, and 9.
Yeah.
Keith, you have the number 2 on top. Now on the rail, Ariel Moon, Mike Trombetta, Horacio Caramanos, coming off of a 238-day layoff.
Yeah, and this has been good. Is this a stat play for us? Okay, last 3 years, talking about Trombetta, 4 for 13, 31%, 7 for 13 in the money with these maidens off of this type of layoff, 180-day or more on the turf. ROI 220. I like the company that she kept back in November. That second-place finisher, Mayfly, came back and posted a couple good figs down at Tampa. I think has positional speed, freshened up, addition of Lasix today, projecting a little bit of improvement. Shorter field now with some speed to target, grounded well, quick enough. I believe Shared Authority had that trouble 2 races back, was pretty keen last time to get to the front. Let's see how this opening quarter develops, but I still think Caramanos will keep Ariel Moon close enough to track and go on with it through the stretch. Party is over. Alberto Delgado here for Georgia Duarte. Barn, pretty good start here for the year, but I think this is another one. He's been sneaky good, smaller sample of these type of layoffs. The last 2 years on the turf, 180 to 365, 3 for 8, 5 for 8, 835 is your ROI. You go back on the page, all the way back to the debut, was in front of a horse by the name of Classic Performer. DQ'd once, but then came back to break its maiden here with a decent figure. I like that one. And your 8, Glamorous.
This is, sorry, on the ticket I said, if you want, but the 8 horses in this race, and I did go 6-8 on this ticket.
Yes, you did. And Glamorous in turf debut ran very well here, nearly 15 to 1 for Jerry Robb. Taking 5 wide upper bid. I watched this race again this morning. Kind of no cover whatsoever, which you kind of like to see in these turf sprints. Was out in the clear, could have lost focus, didn't, shifted wider, and really came on steadily just to miss that Trombetta horse, who had the better run up the inside, call the question. So I think Glamorous is the right move, moving back up, catches the right kind of field here on the race, 2-7-8-6.
Ears back. On with it. Loved what I saw there. As you mentioned, too, at 7.86. Race number 4, we're back on the dirt here for the 3/4 mile distance here for the 3-year-olds and up at a claiming 20,000 level, which have never won 3. This starts our late pick 5 as well. Keith, you have the number 3 on top. Order of the Kettle. Andreas Garbe, Johan Rosado in the saddle for him this time. Let's take a look back at that effort going 7 furlongs back on June 22nd.
Yeah, June 22nd, speedy kind of day, a little lean there. Mr. Agent ran lights out. That was Troy Singh, right?
Yes.
On the front end at a big number, 12-1. But I tell you, Order the Kettle, there's Baron's Legacy chasing. Order the Kettle settles here, has to kind of navigate through a little traffic here. Just a little bit of a pause coming to the quarter pole that does get through, follows shortest route home to close into it. With a gaudy kind of a number of 77, I'm worried maybe a touch of a little bit of a bounce. You know, he's kind of going up, up, and up the last 3 figures. Shortening up a furlong doesn't concern me a ton. I think this horse has faced the right kind going back. Wizwit, Rominski, the rest of the deal. The good fields sit inside again. Doesn't have the speed of the 2 horses inside or even just outside. So I think you're going to get that ground-saving trip with Rosado. Hopefully he finishes up just like he did last time.
There we go. Sugar Steve underneath there at 6-1. Morning line for a bit of potential value there. Dennis Ruho, you can always count on a really smart ride from him. But this is one that's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I tell you, it came back off the break and ran quite well. Yeah, that was a drop to 12.5. Now we got a little protect move twice in a row. Turf back to dirt's always been a pretty good move, a profitable one for Jose Corrales. But this was one kind of easy in that return. Prompted the pace of Boxing Ben, who's been running a lot, knocked heads with it, kind of gets the right kind in this 2 and life, 3 and life level. Got the better of that one to go clear. I'm not necessarily, think that he's got to get the lead. 3rd Lasix now, 2nd Lasix on the dirt. See how things develop because Casino Tricks right to his inside. Looks like he kind of wants to be forward as well. Rojo's going to have to be crafty here into that first quarter, drop in maybe, and go ahead and prompt and make a move into it. But I think this is a little bit of a protect move for Sugar Steve.
There we go. 3-6-1-2 there in race number 4. We will be right back after this commercial break for the rest of the finale of the weekend's card. And when on that first bet app, race number 5 starts that late pick 4 in, claiming 20,000, but this time on the turf, going 1 mile and 16. So we stretch things out now for the for the last half of Sunday racing for the 3-year-olds and up. Scratching the 5 Inspired Irish, scratching the 11 Photo Hop.
Yeah.
You and I both have the number 6 on top. Hurrying home, this is your single on your ticket here for Kieran McGee. Horacio Caramanos, of course, with 3 wins yesterday. Looks good here, Keith.
Yeah, and Kieran kind of leans a little bit with Caramanos and maybe J-Rod, a little bit of a tell. I mean, means business here. Barn Trail still a little bit of a lull right now the last couple of weeks. Maybe this one kind of gets you back in the winner's circle again. Had the other one I talked about with Minx's Lucky Starfight. Hurrying Home is coming back to the turf and shows a couple good races on the page. Just missed back here in October. And you go the race after that maiden special weight event, headline news. That horse came back and ran some buyers 81, 94, 92. Right. Quality animal. This horse has just kind of held okay form on the dirt, but now coming back to the turf. This is first time as a gelding on the lawn. There's a little bit of speed in here. We'll see if Mike the Bomb kind of runs off again. But I think he was effective, believe it or not. I went and watched the rerun again today. The geese around that first turn, you remember, that was the last race of the night, and he was going okay, and then had to go past the geese around the first turn and just took off. We'll see if he can settle a little bit. But I think positional speed. Hurrying Home should get a good tucked-in trip inside, stalking the pace and move into it from there because his turf races, to me, visually are a little bit better than most of these. You
go underneath with Ballyhoo Prince for Patrick Noosh, J.D. Acosta. Just a little bit of an excuse last time out. May have kind of wonked things up a bit. It also needed a race.
Yeah, fixed shoe in the paddock. Aim faded. Quick pace. Again, got beat behind Dancing Mischief over at Pimlico. I just think this horse is going to fall into a great trip. ran okay, decent number, second off the bench last year. Give him a little excuse with that shoe repair, looking for some value. I think he's going to be in that 8 or 10 to 1 range. I think he drafts in somewhere 4 or 5 out of it into the far turn.
Right.
He can ramp it up. He's had a lot of chances. 1 for 30, but 7 times second, 7 times third. I'll use that one into the mix. Awesome strike video spotlight out of that race we talked about with Mike the Bomb. Can we go to that one on June the 14th? That's a day that resonates with me a little bit. Anniversary, but
there we
yeah.
go. Go, Gina.
Found a lot of them, but right out of the get-go here, a little bit of trouble out of the gate. Breaks inward slightly with some contact, and then a steady. There's Mike the Bomb running away up with it on the front end through some pretty decent internals. 43.11 and change, picking it up. But inside, into the far turn, worked out. We're ended up about 5-6 wide upper stretch. Awesome strike. I think he's going to get some flow again today and just brings that steady progression. It's not anything like a huge burst. He's got to grind. He's going to need a little help. But I think in a mile and 16th, I know shorten up a touch today is going to be fine. We've seen Stellar Loot came back around real big yesterday, loomed and kept on well behind Goodbye Note for Hammy. So I go 6, 4, 2, 10, Dancing Mischief. A little flat in that race last time. I see if he can kind of drop in with Barbosa early to make a run.
There we go. Race number 6. We're back on the dirt here in our jackpot super high 5 in a maiden claiming 12.5, going 3/4 of a mile on the dirt for the girls 3 to 5. No scratches here, Keith. You go with the number 4 on top, Stormy Irish Lass, and the net Eubanks, Andrea Chavez. Let's take a look back at that effort last time out with also Any Fool's Gold at that start.
Yeah, these horses are familiar with each other. Outside, Stormy Irish Lass takes a right-hand turn, kind of gets forced out a little bit as well. Inside, towards the inside in those brighter silks, Any Fool's Gold, you see the comment, impeded at the start. Both of those, substantial trouble. They're maiden 12.5s. They need cleaner trips to kind of get it done. And I think when it's all said and done, Any Fool's Gold might have had a little bit better trip. Was able to save a little bit more ground around the turn, is going to advance in between horses. There's Skip Through the Fire, who's right back. That horse runs second, just beating a half in front of our top 2 horses. But I tell you what, Stormy Irish Lass, the Eubanks factor, another shot to maybe not lose. That horse lost a couple lengths from the start and then around the turn through the lane. I'll come back with this one, third off of a break, which has been good for the barn as well.
No, absolutely. You also go with Skip Through the Fire underneath, as well as Surely Not underneath for Ferris Allen, Gina Vello. But Skip Through the Fire, J.D. Acosta, looking to turn things, kind of keep that momentum going with this one.
Yeah, a little jump up in the number, 9-point improvement in the buyer figures. Was hampered 2 races back with an overland trip. I think running back into good form here for Corrales. Surely Not interesting. Has kind of showed a little life the last 2. Unfortunately, hit a little bit of a roadblock top of the stretch. Again, for fillies, mares like this, at this level, start and stop to pick it back up. It's a big ask. Cleaner trip gets this one definitely closer this afternoon.
And we're back on the turf for race number 7 in this allowance, going 5.5 on the turf for the girls, 3 to 5, or 3 and up. Scratches in the 2, 5, and 10. You and I both go with the number 6. Mackenzie does as well. And let's take a look why with Visby for Justin Nixon with Fergal Lynch last time out.
Oh, man. I tell you what, I was a little tough on my man Justin Nixon and Visby last time out. Didn't know if I'd see this kind of performance.
Right.
Man, they made me look awful, egg all over my face. But that's good. Justin's cool. We got the same taste in some good 90s music, right? Going back. So Visby confidently handled here by one Fergal Lynch. Around the turn is going to find a little seam and work outward. And she just rolls home the last 1/8 of a mile. Goes away 3 and change. Back to a 78 buyer speed figure topping. Look at this. Just with a flourish.
Just, yes.
That's a sharp run.
So fun to watch.
Now we're protected. Could have got it for 24. Not today. Going to go back in the allowance here and try to knock out this first level. Visby can be close and go by.
Absolutely. Shine On Moon might have something to say about that, though, as your exacta pick, and I completely understand why. I fought with this horse on and off of my ticket. Cal Lynch, Xavier Perez, just not a great start last time out, and that's kind of, this one is all speed.
Yeah, we liked her as a price last time. Got off at 16 to 1. I was a little surprised she was that high of a price. You see it bumped at the start. She did steady ever so slightly just after that, then was caught wide, turning for home, just didn't quite finish up. Going second time Lasix off the break. Second time Lasix turf the last couple of years for our man Lynch. 6 for 26, 23%, 11 to 26 in the money with ROI of 268. I think with the X-Man and a cleaner break, maybe Lady Serenity's a little bit quicker outside. Wonder Girl's kind of quick as well. She had a tough beginning. I think Shine On Moon can definitely be closer, not have to work as hard through that first 3/8 of a mile, get position. Don't know if she's going to upset Visby, but looking and scrambling for a little bit of a price, I think she holds value here in the 7th.
Let's talk about the number 1, Lily Simone for a morning line of 10-1. Jose Magana, J. Ron Barbosa.
Yeah, bigger field, kind of lost in the shuffle last time, caught in between, didn't fire home the last 8, but has good races. 2 wins over this turf course out of 6 starts with a top of 75. Anywhere close, and I think she's going to bounce back. She's got some in and out form to her. Magana can get a runner to win. You know, he's done well with limited supply, doing a good job at this meet. I think Lily Simone Barbosa can rally into it.
There we go. 6-7-1-3 for Keith Fustel in race number 7. In the finale of the weekend here is in race number 8 on the dirt. In this maiden claiming 20,000, going 5.5 on the dirt, as I mentioned beforehand. 3, 4, 5-year-olds scratch in the number 3 dowsing rod. Let's talk about your top selection, number 4, Dicey Gray, a first-time starter for Jerry Robb, J. Ron Barbosa.
I think both of these firsters, Robbie's horse Don't Get Caught, Dicey Gray, you have to pay certain attention to, no doubt. Not by prolific first-out stallions, but good enough. It's the bottom side that works for both of them. We'll talk about Dicey Gray. Dicey DJ did win her debut. This was half to a 9-time winner, the Wolfman. Remember that horse?
Yes.
Yeah, Wolfman was tough.
Yeah.
2 debut winners out of 5 starters with his mare. Another one ran third. 129 handily out of the gate, a recent workout. Don't want to come up short. Dicey Gray. Well, we'll see. Got a sluggish work, 3 works back, 104. Don't know what she's going to bring, but I think this guy's going to be prepped and ready to go here for Jerry Robb and Barbosa. Northern Cardinal, maiden special weight to maiden claimer in for the tag. The proven speed, I think, will set sail inside with Alvela. Could prove tough to catch today, but Don't Get Caught here for Robbie Bales. Another one. Not a long line of works, but half to Royal Whisperer. Horses run some pretty good figs. 2 debut winners out of 4 starters. That works for me. 4-1-2-7 in the nightcap.
There we go. And let's just dive into that value play that you have going on here in race number 2 in the number 6, 5-1 Baron's Legacy for Andreas Garibay, Gina Vello.
Yeah, a barn that doesn't run a whole lot of horses, but been doing okay of late. This horse has speed, faced much better. I think can kind of sit just out. If Dream River wants to go, fine. This guy comes out of some pretty quick heats. He'll make a move into it. I think he will get the lead upper stretch. See if he can hang on from there.
There we go. Keith Fustel with an $8.60 early pick 4 ticket with a good structure to follow through on. He hit the middle pick 4 yesterday, and thank you so much for joining us this weekend, Keith.
Yeah, nice weekend. I've got a beautiful day today. Like I say, a little bit cooler, 88 degrees, not as humid. Get out here, get out on the apron, go see the pizza lady, bucket of beer, whatever, beverage of choice. Come out and enjoy these races and fire some money through the windows.
They got a chance to make it here, especially with that Laurel with some lucky Laurel prices. We'll go to Dave Rodman for some more changes and scratches.
All right, good luck.